All praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Racha Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Bowstone that wrote well. And Shalom and to the hopeful elect of the real Hebrew Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and confusion of faces scattered throughout the four corners of the earth through captivity that the scriptures tell you would be in the fucking bottom estate, lowest estate of any peoples on the planet, okay? Living in the most deplorable conditions known to man. Not to be confused with those fucking imposters, the small hats that have the majority of the earth's wealth, right? That's contrary to the conditions that the true Israelites would be in. All right, and we want to go into how in a short time that the masses of the people on the planet are going to snap out of the drunken fucking stupor that they're currently in reverence and paying homage into the so-called fucking white man. All right, there's a quote by Napoleon Bonaparte that said, "History is lies agreed upon, and who agrees upon the lies on history and on in all these different fucking subjects is the so-called fucking white man." All right, he got together, linked up, right? Because who's agreeing upon the lies? Just as it said, the victor, Salakia. The current victor, meaning who has the stranglehold over the planet in the current time, is the victor, which is a so-called fucking white man, who's in power, who the earth is run by a global hegemony of, okay, so-called Caucasian man, which is indeed Esau, Edom in the scriptures, okay? So who agreed upon the lies is the victor, the so-called fucking white man, got together and established fallacies and falsehoods on everything from history to so-called religion, okay, lied on the scriptures. They destroyed the images of the true people of the scriptures and painted the likeness, and they crafted the likeness of their likeness as these biblical figures, and not only that, of all the peoples on the planet, okay, pre-Renaissance. You have these different, because it wasn't just the biblical figures, right? It was all different people in history, okay, and it's mostly of the Israelites. Because look, for example, you have the samurais. What was the last samurai? What was that? A fucking Edomite, okay. You know, the gods of Egypt. That one movie he did, they were all fucking Edomites, man. So he's even depicting Hamites as him. All right. But all the fuck shit that Esau Edom has done, complete mayhem he's laid into the earth, let alone what he's done to the earth, to all of creation, but what he's done to the people alone, you know, since the Renaissance era, going around colonizing the fucking planet, okay? He's literally subjugated and decimated fucking, what is the trifecta we mentioned? Raped, robbed, and murdered all peoples on the planet, right? We were just chronicling how this man, he fucking has demonized every people in different sections of history, going out up to this present time, and it's mainly been the Israelites. But remember, there was a time here in America where they demonized the fucking so-called Japanese man, right? They demonized the so-called fucking Chinaman, right? Demonized the fucking towel heads in the early 2000s. They were the symbol of terrorism, right? All different peoples. during that fucking what was that, apartheid and all that, demonized the fucking the so-called African man, and we know he constantly demonizes the Israelites. That's not even, we don't even have to fucking to give you accounts of that. That's on a constant basis for that, right? But we're coming into a time where the people are going to snap out of this fucking out of this state of worshiping and paying homage to the so-called fucking white man. All right, what's another way that he's gotten the world to worship him? Through his so-called sciences, right? So they worship him for his medical, so-called medical miracles that he can perform. Okay, bring somebody back to life. Surgeries, and as aforementioned, it's those lies that they got together and established are starting to be torn down. Okay, and with that is going to come, the masses of the people of the earth to uprise against them. We brought it out at camp last Saturday. It said it as a term, as a phrase, get the gringo, that Elder Barak from GMS LA. I think he's in Inland Empire. Yep, he's with a platoon of brothers in the Inland Empire now. He always used to coin, get this fucking gringo is gonna be the new slogan, okay? And it's becoming to where all the masses of the people of these other heathen nations are going to start falling upon this fucking guy, man, woman, and child, to realize this is the problem of the earth. He went across the earth spoiling, right? We brought out that Isaiah 33, woe to him that spoil and not spoil, that deal treacherously, and they have not dealt treacherously with thee. Then they're just gonna come after your fucking throats. All right. You had this account, and it's fucking Yapa through the Spirit. It's fucking beautiful. All right, and the people think, how could you think this way? That's fucking sadistic. How can you be an advocate for shit like this? But you have no idea the fierce nature of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You have no idea the nastiness of the Heavenly Father. Okay, the sheer terror that is the Heavenly Father, man. You have no fucking idea. See, in the recent years, decades, really, the people have been on a tip of being extremely weak, right? They call them in the new era snowflake, okay? But people are on some extremely weak shit, okay? The Heavenly Father is a man of war, and as the Apostle Rakal was just going into, all the different nations are warriors, okay? Not just a few of the tribes of Israel, but the entire nation of Israel, and not just Israel. All the fucking heathen nations are nations of war. Look what's happened since the inception of mankind. Pretty much, has been fucking war. All right, and in war, it's fucking vicious. So you don't not understand the viciousness of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But listen, going back to this statement, it was fucking beautiful to see this one bitch named Laken Riley, right? Over there, who knows, somewhere in fucking America, in this godforsaken fucking country, who was running, who went outside, a fucking little 20-something, early 20-something year old fucking so-called white woman, a devil, right? Go out in her fucking, in some spandex, right? Which right there, see, this pussy ass fucking society doesn't realize what it really is, okay? Even in the scriptures it says You know, if there's a woman who's not betrothed and unmarried, um, then she could get grabbed up. Okay? See, so even rape is permissible in the scriptures. You people, you people are fucking weak. This society is pushed out, man. All right? And even it shows you how weak these other fucking camps are. See, that is a permissible thing. What did you think you did? You fucking had to beg this woman for a date or some shit? You think you had to, you know, to give her the world? All right, like that meme, that depiction of the man who's got the literal the globe on his back and he's bending on one knee, presenting it to the woman. You have to give her the world. You think that's what it's like? No, you saw something you liked and that was fair game, and she got grabbed up if she wasn't married or betrothed, according to the law. But in all other cultures, you see, so that the spirit, that raw fucking spirit, is in a man. Not to present her with flowers, a bouquet of roses, not to beg for a date, okay, to jump through a fiery fucking hoop. This is an analogy of what a man has to do to so-called court a fucking woman. Nah, it's not like that, okay? It's the, you know, I see what I like and I'm taking that shit, okay? Not even that pussy ass shit like that they say, oh, he wasn't according to her preferences, so she's gonna pass up. No, bitch, you don't have a fucking choice, okay? But listen, this so-called Venezuelan, or wherever the fuck he was, I believe his name was Jose Ibarra. He saw this bitch going on a run, you know, a morning jog, right? Went out with all her whole shit revealed up, okay? And he saw the bitch, and he went after her, okay? He stalked her, followed her, and when there was an area in the woods or whatever, because you know these fucking people, they'll go on a hike, right? And it's crazy that these bitches go solo on a hike, okay, with their cheeks out, fucking tits out, all on display. You know, no weapon. Even if she had a weapon, that's not going to deter a man. But no weapon, nothing to defend herself with. Go into a remote area on a hike trail or in the woods on a jog, and he stalked her, followed her when there was a place that was remote and unseen by the so-called public, right? Nobody, no bystanders, and nobody in the vicinity. And he grabbed her up, and I believe he raped the bitch, okay, and then you know, put her to death. I believe he tried to strangle her first, but then you know, he did the I forgot what it's called, but insurance. For insurance, he caved the bitch's face in with a fucking a boulder, okay, caved in her whole face, and then it was so bad that they said, you know, she was, of course, unrecognizable. You know, caved in her fucking skull with a large, massive fucking rock. And then she was found with her fucking her shirt or her top, whatever, pulled up above her head. Okay, right there. He handled business and kept it fucking moving. You see? And that was beautiful through the spirit, because payback is a motherfucker, man. Payback is fucking is awesome. What did even that damn nigger Tupac said? He said, revenge is better than pussy. Okay? And that's what it is, man. For all this devil has done, that's just a little piece of, you know, and a little real, like a microcosm, right? It's a small example of a bigger event that is going to happen to the so-called fucking white man. Okay, his women are going to get fucking raped and ravished, okay, and put to death. his people, his children are going to get bashed against the fucking stones. Okay? Are going to get fucking quartered, you know, going to get fucking decapitated, ran through with the sword. Okay? Going to get tortured and held captive. Okay? All this is about to happen. This mentions that his downfall would come after his exposure. All right? And there's going to be more shit like that. All kind of, it's going to be, it's going to be like, you know, a mainstay. Thinking of that word that it's going to be like, it's going to be rampant. It's going to be commonplace. That's it. It's going to be fucking commonplace for the masses of the people to be going after this goddamn devil, man. And rightfully so. Look what he's done. It's in Isaiah 13 and 14, and it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. And this is going into, when you break it down in the other translations, they make it seem like is it talking about everyone, that everybody's just going to get chased after and shit like this. But no, we here at Great Millstone, going back from One West, you know, our apostles and elders back at One West got this breakdown from their elders, right? That this is mainly in reference to Esau Edom. He's going to be the chased roe, okay? He's going to be the one that when anybody sees him, they're going to go after him. And it's heavy. It's just like Cain, right? What did Cain say? Let's pull that. That when he has this mark of this fucking discrepancy, this deficiency, this fucking deformity, right? Of leprosy, of the stripping of his pigment. When they see him, they're gonna want to fucking put him to death. Okay. So let's read this in Genesis 4 and 13. It says, or it started 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. And that's heavy, because what do they call the bottomless pit over there in Europe, especially in the time when Esau Edom took it over? They called it the bottomless pit in Europe because it couldn't grow vegetation. Okay, and wherever he goes, look in Israel. He went to Israel, and that place became a fucking wilderness after he came to Israel. But it talks about how Jacob had the true green thumb, that whatever he touched turned to gold. Okay, whatever crops that he planted, they fucking yielded, you know, gave a massive yield. So they're not the fucking people, man. They're fucking imposters. Most importantly, they're the so-called fucking white man. They're the spiritual descendants of Cain, but who was later reincarnated as Esau Edom, the so-called fucking white man. All right. It says, a fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Okay, and the fugitive is depictive of everybody going after this fucking demon. Okay? A fugitive from justice. Let's get that word in the Hebrew and the etymology. Fugitive in the etymology goes back to fugere or fugitivus, fugivitus, which means to flee. Going back to fugere, to flee. Person who has escaped from a place or is in hiding, especially to avoid arrest or persecution. Okay. The etymology is one who flees, a runaway, fugitive from justice, see? An outlaw. So he's running away from being fucking, he's running away because people are chasing him. And that's how it's going to be, right? Get this fucking gringo. Get this fucking Edomite, man. All right, let's go ahead and get this word, fugitive, in Genesis, the 4th chapter, in verse 12. It's the Hebrew word nawai. Okay. Nawai. All right. And it means to quiver, totter, shake, reel, stagger, wander. Okay. See, he keeps having to go from place to place. And it's heavy because it's not like he stopped doing dirt and grimy shit after he killed Abel. No, everywhere he goes, he continues to do grimy shit, and that's why he got chased out, right? And we talked about that, and that's in Job, right? Where in Job is that? That's fucking critical. Salakia just got a call. Job 20 in the KJV. Salakia, let's check it. Let's see. Bushes they braid. Job 30. Yeah, fuck yeah. Job 30. It says, Job 30 and 5, it says, they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Who did that? What people's literal designation is synonymous with caves, okay? With cliffs of the valley and caves of the earth, and the fucking rocks. What people is their designation, their title, their name, their race is synonymous with caves, okay? None other than this is Caucasian, which means cave dweller, okay? And just as it said, they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, okay? See, the scriptures link all this up. This is the so-called white man. Everywhere he fucking goes, he fucks shit up. He kills and Slakia, not kills. He fucking murders. Okay. He gets his hands dirty. Okay. So this is straight on that. Let's go back to that. Wa'ai in the Hebrew for fugitive, right? To be unstable, to go tottering, to toss about, to disturb, to shake, to disturb, to cause to wander. Okay. To go up and down, move to and fro, to vacillate. Okay. See if we can pull anything from here. Slovakia, bear with it for a sec. That's straight. That's straight. It says, hints of men and things seized with terror. Okay? And that's one of the main things that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is guilty of. Okay? He seizes your shit. Okay? With terror. They call it his fucking reign of terror that the so-called white man has been on. You know? Especially since he came out of the fucking caves. Let's go, you know, if you want to have like a definitive date. Well, look, he did it. He did it back in the fucking the Greco-Roman era, the Greco-Roman Empire. Okay. What they talk about, what Rome did. Okay, that machine, that war machine that was the Roman Empire, that just went around. It said that was a global fucking empire. They just went around subjugating people through intimidation. All right. You would get crushed. It would just crush you. Okay. So let's go back here to this Genesis, the 4th chapter. It says, Genesis 4:13, it says, and Cain said unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Okay, there you go. There you fucking go. And that's how it's gonna be. Everyone's gonna seek to slay this fucking bastard, man. Is it not justified? Back in Isaiah 13:14, and it shall be as the chased roe and a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee, every one into his own land. And the main person that's going to get chased down, going to get hunted, that's going to get fucking sought after to put to death is the so-called white man. When they realize what the fuck, who the fuck he is, who the fuck he truly is. Okay? Proverbs 11:21, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So any of these hand-holding fucking Jakes, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, the confusion of faces, and even these other nations, anyone who wants to be a fucking, who wants to hold Esau, Edom's hand, and who wants to stick with him and say, let us all come together. What about the white man? You hear these fucking Jakes, that's the main thing they talk about in opposition to this truth. What about the white man? You know? No, we need to love him. Okay? We need to band together with him. Alright? They're gonna get fucking put to death. And what it just says, it says though, the wicked will not be unpunished. Even though you try to fucking shield, you try to be a human shield for this fucking devil. No, he's still gonna get punished. He's still gonna get put to death. Okay, the mass majority of them on this go around, and then some of them are still gonna get punished hard fucking core. They're gonna get fucking beat within inches of their life. You can only imagine, but still kept alive for slavery. Okay, and then those ones that get put to death, they're gonna come back. Those spirits are going to be reincarnated in the form of the offspring and progeny of them that are taken into slavery of their nation. Okay, and serve a continual fucking punishment. until they get exterminated according to Obadiah. All right? That every one of them shall be cut off by slaughter. But look, you want to be a human shield for this fucking demon? You're gonna get fucking, you're gonna get put to death. Okay? In a brutal fashion. And finishing off in Job 20:27, the heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. Okay? So it's gonna truly be, get the fucking gringo in this time. That's coming. And what, just as it said, once his iniquity is revealed, once his skirts are lifted, once his shame is seen, once he is revealed to be the fucking wicked devil the Bible speaks of, then the people, not only the people, but the entire earth is going to rise against this fucking devil. Okay? The fucking animals, the fucking plant life, you know, even weather, everything is gonna rise up against this fucking devil, but mainly the people. Okay, it's just gonna be, you know, everyone against him. All right, the whole world, all the nations against him. All right. So with that, all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Shem Yahshua B'Shem Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom.